Welcome back to the 2015-2016 NBA preview. Today we are going to be covering the Toronto Raptors at number 12. My name is Joshua Enviers, and today with me is my co-host like usual.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? It is the one and only Legend of Winning, a.k.a. Low. We are here with the Toronto Raptors, number 12, getting close to the top 10. We're almost there, man. We're scratching at it. Playoff teams.
Can't wait.
Against even better teams, man.
Let's take a look at what the Raptors did leading up to this season.
So Toronto Raptors last year actually had a really, really good year. And actually, they've been having
A surprising year.
Yeah, pretty good years over the
past 2 years. They've been a couple surprising people.
Yeah, exactly.
For the talent they do have.
For the past 2 or 3 years, they really have been surprising people. Ever since the loss of Rudy Gay, it has been a huge weight lifted off of the organization and coaches' shoulder.
The funny thing is, when I saw they got Rudy Gay, I thought they would be a great team.
I didn't think that. No.
I thought they definitely would be, not contenders in the East, but they'd be getting past the second round. But the past 2 years, no luck with getting to the second round just yet. But
no luck. But
I don't think this year brings any more luck.
You never know. It might happen. But Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan most definitely seem like they're a backcourt that can push along this team and get them to new heights. But we will see, because it is yet to happen. But 49 wins last year. That is a franchise record. I think there's a few Toronto fans.
They're not breaking that franchise record anytime soon. At least not this year.
There's a few Toronto fans that keep saying that. They keep highlighting that for whatever reason. I don't know why, but 49 wins. That's their record.
Now moving on to the summer acquisitions by the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors acquired Bismack Biyombo, Luis Scola, Corey Joseph, and the one amazing superstar that a lot of Toronto Raptors fans agree on, DeMar Carroll. Going to be a great rotation player.
Actually, I do like the Corey Joseph pickup.
I do as well. He's gonna, hopefully he can prove himself.
He's an improvement from Vasquez. I would probably agree with that. Luis Scola, I'm a fan of his, but he's on the other end.
He's a little old.
Yeah, he's on the other end of his
I really do like Bismack Biyombo.
I like Biyombo as well, but it's the one and only DeMar Carroll now. Let's not forget that. DeMar Carroll,
a great starter with the Atlanta Hawks. A decent role player as well. He knew his role. He wasn't a superstar, but some of these Toronto Raptors fans, they got a big three now, apparently, now with DeMar Carroll on their team.
I don't think people understand the type of a role and type of player that DeMar Carroll is, but I think he is all around. He's extremely good.
He deserves to be a starter in this league for what he's done with Atlanta.
He's a good player. Let's not misunderstand.
No superstar though. No superstar.
No superstar.
So any Raptors fans thinking that, sorry to burst your bubble. Now taking a look at who they lost. They lost Tyler Hansbrough, Chuck Hayes, Amir Johnson, Lou Williams, and Grievous Vasquez. And Landry Fields as well is still a free agent. Hopefully, they lose him as well.
I was about to say they don't need to bring back Landry Fields. Vasquez again picking up Corey Joe for Vasquez and replacing
Corey Joseph's basically the better version of Vasquez. He has offense and he's a better defender.
Yeah, and Lou Williams. Come to find out, they didn't even offer Lou Williams a contract,
which was very disrespectful.
Extremely disrespectful. But there's no real need to have both him and T. Ross on the bench. They kind of do similar things. I'm surprised though. Amir Johnson, I thought he was most definitely a player that they were going to keep, and he's a hustle player. But I guess Luis Scola. But all in all, for what they lost and what they attained, it's not uneven.
Yeah,
it's pretty balanced.
It's a good balance. Like they didn't get anybody big, but they didn't lose anybody big either. But I guess Lou will, but all he really does is scoring. So
yeah. But they picked up DeMar Carroll. Come on,
exactly.
That evens out everything, man. Come on.
Taking a look at the draft picks, they had a lot of draft picks, but the one notable guy out of Utah, DeLon Wright.
Is he going to get the PT that he deserves, so we can see how good he is?
Hopefully he does. There's also Norman Powell, who's he's a decent scorer as well. So. Hopefully he does, but
that's the one thing that really bothers me. I don't know a lot of these rookies are really getting the time that they really deserve to really show things.
Maybe due to injury, they might get minutes, but as of right now, who knows? Because they only have Corey Joseph as a backup, so I feel like DeLon Wright should get some minutes.
Maybe in some blowouts, but it's the Raptors. They're not going to blow out anybody,
They might get blown out, so
Oh, yeah, that is right. They might get blown out, so then that's when you put him in there. You're right.
Kobe might come to town and score 81 if you're lucky, but I don't think you'll be lucky this season. Kobe scoring 81. Moving on to the rotation for the Toronto Raptors, the starters look like Jonas Valanciunas, Patrick Patterson, DeMar Carroll, DeMar DeRozan, and Kyle Lowry.
I like the starting lineup. I don't really have a problem with it.
It's decent, The backcourt,
I like the. I mean, as much as I may get on them and bag on them, I'm actually a DeMar DeRozan fan. I just know he can't shoot, but I'm a fan of his.
Kyle Lowry's reaching 30.
He is.
Jonas Valanciunas and Patrick Patterson, they're role players. Starters though, we'll have to find out. I do like Patrick Patterson. He reinvented himself by becoming a stretch four. So
I think
wait.
For their dynamic and how they play, they needed more shooting, and they need to space the floor a tad bit better. So Patrick Patterson in the starting lineup makes sense. But as a whole, I like their starting five. I can't lie, I like their starting five.
As for the reserves, Bismack Biyombo, Luis Scola, James Johnson, Terrence Ross, and Corey Joseph.
I'm not sold on Scola, like we just said. He's on the other end of his, of the age spectrum. So
the one guy I really like for some reason, Bismack Biyombo.
I like him as well.
I feel like he's gonna get some time to shine with the Toronto Raptors.
Because when he was in Charlotte, it was Al Jefferson, and I feel like a lot of other.
Bismack Biyombo got some minutes, but he's gonna get a lot more minutes here.
Yeah, he should get more minutes. I do like him. A nice size. This sounds extremely suspect, but a nice size as a big man. James Johnson also questionable, but he had good times. Bruno Caboclo also should get some minutes.
Now moving on to the questions surrounding the Toronto Raptors.
When it comes to the Toronto Raptors, as we all know, second round just doesn't seem possible for this team. They will make the playoffs, mainly because they do play in the East, but it doesn't seem like the second round is quite possible or attainable. With DeMar Carroll, though, that might be happening, but other players such as Terrence Ross and James Johnson just don't seem like they could cut it. So the question I have to ask you, Josh, is do you think this team will make the second round of the playoffs, or do you think they still need to do some trades?
They still need to do a lot more trades. I mean, luckily for them, they don't have to go against the Raptor killer, Paul Pierce. But the way we have this list rearranged, they are going to have to face a nice team. They're not going to be facing an individual player, but they are going to be facing a team if they do, if this list does pan out as how we predict. So the Toronto Raptors we have at the 6th seed. If we have the 3rd seed planned as well, if that happens, they are not making the playoffs. They're not going to get swept, but you never know. They're the Raptors.
I didn't think they were going to get swept last year, but they end up getting swept. I will say this about Toronto. This is a team that seems like it has an obvious cap, and I'm surprised that they haven't got rid of the coach, Dwayne Casey, yet. That's extremely odd to me, especially with a lot of teams pulling the trigger kind of quick on a lot of their coaches. I'm kind of concerning that Casey's job hasn't come into question yet, but we'll see, how that all goes. But trades most definitely need to be made.
Moving on to the final predictions for the Toronto Raptors.
Toronto Raptors, second round, possibly.
Second round, possibly like in a year or two. I agree.
Second round, possibly. I wouldn't get my hopes up, especially if they don't get home court advantage. They would have to, attempt and go out there.
I mean, home court advantage didn't really work for them last season anyways.
True, but if they don't get home court advantage, I most definitely don't believe that they'll make, the playoffs. I mean, I'm not make the playoffs, but I most definitely don't think they'll make the second round. So they need some form of advantage, and home court advantage is the only type of advantage that they'll have. But then they do have DeMar Carroll, I forgot, so that might work for them.
The superstar himself.
They do, I forgot.
My predictions for the Toronto Raptors is, I hope they don't get swept because I like success stories, and Toronto Raptors, they've been surprising people the past 2 years. They made it into the playoffs. The fans are going crazy. And the playoffs are what the fans love. They love seeing a nice series. And the team they're going to be going up against, who knows at this point, but the team we have them going up against right now seems to be a pretty interesting matchup. That team doesn't look like they will be able to sweep the Raptors, but like we said, we never know. And unfortunately, I do not see the Raptors being a second round team in the playoffs.
Shout out to Drizzy Drake, yo. You out there putting Toronto on the map, putting on your
They
squad.
got that going for them though.
Put that on your squad,
that.
even though y'all losing, you still repping your squad. I respect you.
Drake passed the second round, so the Raptors need to pass the second round as well.
Not only did he pass the second round, he went back to back.
So with that said, we'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a like, share, and even subscribe to my YouTube channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. I post a lot of content and I work hard on my videos, so that would be greatly appreciated if you did show the love.
Yeah, like we always say, please like, comment, and keep subscribing. 30 videos in 30 days. And I think a lot of y'all may not understand like our humor, but we're not really trying to bag on DeMar Carroll. We just don't think he'll be that good and he'll be misused.
We just know some delusional Toronto Raptor fans that we call, friend.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it is what it is, but we'll soon see how good he meshes with his team. But until then, we'll see y'all next video.
Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.